Welcome to the Speak Your Success podcast. What's going on, successors, and welcome to the Speak Your Success podcast. Today we have another episode of Monday Motivation. It's coming at you strong today. So I had the opportunity to attend this conference this past weekend. It was a gentleman by the name of John Maxwell. He is a giant and guru in the leadership development space. If you're not familiar with him, I would encourage that you check him out. I've been reading some of his books lately. However, the biggest takeaway wasn't what I got from him while he was presenting. The biggest takeaway I got was as I sat down and a gentleman sat next to me, said, "Hey, what is it that you do?" And I told my partner with colleges and high schools, just speaking to their students, facilitating workshops and different things like that. And then he said, "Well, who do you hang out with?" I looked at the gentleman. I said, "What? Who do you hang out with?" He asked me. I said, "A few different people." What are you trying to ask me? What information are you trying to get? What are you really asking? You know, when somebody asks you a question, but you're like, well, what's the real question? Because it's not what you want to know. And then that really brought me to today's topic, which is who's in your circle. Many of us probably have heard the famous Jim Rohn quote where it says, "You're the average of the top 5 friends that you hang out with." You're the average, not the sum. But you're the average, because we know typically the sum is higher than the average. Then I just began to think, well, who's in my circle? And I want to bring that to you today because you're the successors. And I know you all are big thinkers. I know you all have big desires to do big things. However, I also believe that we can't get to big places and we can't do big things if we're not surrounded by the right environment. So I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you just to write down the 5 people that you spend the most time with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just beside that, I want you then to begin to write out what value they're adding to your life. And I know what some of you think. You're like, "But John, this is my best friend. We've grown up together." That's great. You know, that's wonderful. But if this person is just hanging around with you and you all call each other on the phone and you begin to talk negatively about other people, you begin to gossip about other people, that might not be the play. And you might say, "Well, John, this is the friend I enjoy going out with." That's great. And then if you ask yourself, what do you do outside of just going out with each other? You're like, "Well, no, we go over, we pregame and we do this and we do that." Is that benefiting or furthering your life? You say, "John, but we go to the movies together and we hang out. Like, that's what we do. That's what we do." How is that benefiting your life? Because I know sometimes it can be so easy to get caught up talking about movies after just enjoying a good movie. That's fine. And then what? What conversations you have from that? Are we having purposeful conversations? Are we having intentional conversations? This is just something to begin to think about, because if we're surrounded by individuals who are doing illegal activity, it's just a matter of time before we begin to indulge ourselves in that same activity. The best example for me was I had a certain group of friends that we worked together, and then we always went to the club together. We always went to happy hour together. We always did whatever on the weekends together. And it wasn't anything past having fun on the weekend. That's where it stopped. We didn't have conversations when we were sober. That's just where it stopped. So today I want to just bring this to your awareness. And then after you write the list of the 5 people that are the closest to you, you spend the most time with, then under them, I want you just to write down your name. And I want you to think about what value you're adding to them. Because I think if we don't take the time and assess what's being added to us or what we're adding to others, then we'll just go with the wave. And the wave is comfortable. The wave doesn't have an emotion. The wave just moves whichever the way the majority of the water is going, it just moves. So now we got the first part, right? We list out the 5 people. How are they benefiting us? And down at the bottom, we write how we're benefiting them. Then I want you to draw a line down the middle. Let's just call it the line of demarcation. That's probably the only thing that's stuck in my head from 8th grade social studies. And on the other side, I want you to write 5 people that you would like in your circle. These might be people that you may have direct access to, CEOs, business owners, etc., whoever. If you don't have direct access to them, then I would encourage you to find them on social media. Read their blog articles that they're putting out if they do that. Read their books. Listen to their podcasts. Take time and consume their content on YouTube. Because when we began to do that, then we put ourselves in a position to where our 5 have shifted. Some of the people that were in your first 5 might be in your second 5. Somebody might make it over the line. However, somebody may not, and that's okay. Because there are people who come in our life for reasons, seasons, and some are here for the lifetime. But every once in a while, we have to take our car to the mechanic to get an oil change. Every once in a while, we have to go in and we have to get a tune-up. Is it fun? Not really. Is it necessary? Most definitely. So today I wanted to just bring that to you and just help you just assess some relationships, help you assess some areas of opportunity. And friends, I want to also just remind you, if you've been getting value from the podcast, I would encourage you to just smash that subscribe button. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, iHeart, Google Play, the majority of where streaming podcasts are. And if you say, John, this was really good, then I would tell you to then just rate and review the podcast. So that way the message continues to grow. We continue to be able to increase the reach. And it's not because of what I've done. It's because of how you all, the successors, are helping the podcast grow. And people are taking screenshots and sharing on their social stories using the hashtag SYS podcast. And the message is now expanding. And we're grateful for all the support, as well as the reviews. Whenever you leave a review, you then have a chance or opportunity for your review to get shouted out when we do a Feature Friday. So friends, thank you. Successors, thank you for all that you've done. Please share your success stories. Please share if the content has benefited you. Shoot me a tweet. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Just knowing that the content is being effective and that it's being implemented and that we'll continue to pump it out. We'll even address topics that you desire to hear. But I'll never know what you want me to discuss if you never send the message, if you never take action. So today I want you to take action. Today I want you to apply this information. Don't sit on it, but apply it. Share it with a friend, somebody you know might need to hear it. This is TEDx speaker and best-selling author Jonathan Jones reminding you to speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why would you want to live any other